Wrestling Untold is back, episode number 2. And if you are new to the
Number
channel,
2.
make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video. Don't know where the like and subscribe is.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yup.
This is
Wrestling Untold. I'm Carter, and here's my co-host.
I am Keaton, aka what they used to call me around the way. Put you in a figure 4 leg lock.
Here we have episode number 2, and we have a lot of good things planned.
So today's episode of Wrestling Untold, we actually decided we wanted to go strong. We are giving you guys the top wrestler. And what we did, we comprised a list of old school and new school wrestlers. We dropped them into a bracket form because as Americans, we love brackets. We love we love NCAA Final Four. We love the brackets.
We love wrestling brackets.
Let's put a disclaimer on there. We may have missed some guys, and we didn't have enough slots for every guy that was great. But we're gonna get started, and we're gonna start on the old school side. We're gonna have an old school side of the bracket, and we're gonna new school side of the bracket. We didn't go back all the way into the 80s because this is subjective. It was just me and Carter. Okay. But we'll get going. So the number 1 and essentially number 2 persons that are going head to head in this first matchup is going to be The Rock. You smell what The Rock is cooking? And Andre the Giant. The one of the wonders of the world. I don't know which wonder it is. So tell me, let's talk about The Rock first.
He made a big statement in his debut. He was Rocky Maivia. He didn't get a lot of fans. He got booed. And then when he turned to The Rock in the Domination group, I think it's called
Nation of Domination.
Nation of Domination. He was still getting booed and he was disrespecting the team. So, but now he's like this big movie star actor and everything. And before, he was good, like the 2000s. He's a Hall of Famer. And Andre the Giant. And by the way, if you're questioning, I'm very young. Yes, I am. We watch old school wrestling.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant, he didn't make a big statement like Ultimate Warrior. He wasn't in wrestling for a long time. So for this winner, I'm gonna have
let me give you my synopsis. So Andre was in wrestling a long time. He wrestled at a time before he wrestled in different territories. I guess that's what they referred to it at the time. The Rock was when he's Rocky Maivia, I loved him. Absolutely loved him. Everything about him, but he kind of got old really quick. And he became a heel, and I think that's when like the true Rock came out, where you got like The Rock. A lot of people hope you know that SmackDown is The Rock show. He was laying the SmackDown. That was The Rock show. It's always going to be The Rock show. Andre the Giant, on the other hand, he was famous for he's never lost a match with the exception of the Hogan match. I think that was like WrestleMania 2, 3, or 4, one of those WrestleManias.
Only been slammed by one person as well.
But he had never lost a match, and he's just a posing figure, and just, I know this is a PG show, but they say he could drink like 30, 40 beers and be fine, which is insane. But when you're that big, that happens. So let's see who we're going to choose. So who's going on to the next one?
I'm going to choose The Rock.
The Rock advances. That is no surprise to me. Rock advanced. So let's go on to the second set. So this one guy, he's actually multiple guys. Mick Foley, Dude Love, Mankind, Cactus Jack. Any one of these monikers, it was great. And then who he's going up against is, the styling and profiling, right? The alligator shoes wearing, Rolex wearing, private plane flying. You guys know who I'm talking about. Woo! Rick Flair.
I'm a Hogan fan.
So this one to me is a no-brainer, but let's hear it. You tell me about Mankind first.
This one is so easy. I'm not a fan of Ric Flair. I like Mankind. He dedicated his whole life to this one career. He's a risk taker. He does anything to win. Ric Flair, I don't even have to explain it.
Well, let me dispute that for a second. So Mankind, while great, when he came in and he went up against the Undertaker, he was electrifying. I hated Mankind. He just tormented the Undertaker, and I felt like Undertaker couldn't get past him. He was probably Undertaker's greatest opponent, which says a lot. The whole Dude Love thing was wacky. The whole the whole Cactus Jack thing, that was just the sheer extreme champion he was the hardcore champion. Hardcore champion, and it was great. But Rick Flair defined wrestling. He was the top guy anywhere he walked. Anywhere. But again, one of the caveats I will say is Carter's going to have the last say so who advances. So you tell me who's going to advance here. Tell me, is it going to be the natural or the upset?
I just have to say it's Rick Flair. I don't want Mankind and Rock to go against each other.
Oh, so it's going to be Rick Flair? Oh, I thought it was going to be an upset. I thought he was going to upset.
I don't want Rock and Sock to go against each other.
All right, so Rick
Sorry,
Flair.
Sorry, Mick. I'm so sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
Mick. So sorry.
So let's move on. So the next persons that are going up against each other, this one guy is near and dear to me, to my heart, so to speak. He's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. No one else out of that family is ever going to mount to what he's done for wrestling. So the one and only Bret Hart, the legendary Bret Hart. The other person, he was in wrestling a little bit before my time. You guys know him as the Randy Savage. A lot of Slim Jims and all that other good stuff. A lot of big elbow drops off the top rope. But let's hear what you have to say. I don't know if you watched a lot of Randy Savage, but I know you have watched a lot of Bret Hart.
I have no choice here. I have no choice.
Well, tell me about both first.
Bret Hart. He's good.
Well, you gotta give me more than just Bret Hart is good.
He's good. He beat Shawn Michaels, my favorite. But don't forget Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart. Watch that now.
It was WrestleMania.
Was it?
WrestleMania.
Oh. Well, WrestleMania. Bret Hart advances. I didn't see much of Randy Savage. The only Randy Savage I think I saw was when Ric Flair was fighting Randy Savage, because Ric Flair had this whole incident with Miss Elizabeth and stuff.
Oh, that's very true. So Bret Hart advances. So this next person is one of Carter's favorite wrestlers, the Ultimate Warrior, who he was one of my favorite wrestlers at one time too. Very short-lived career. And the other person, he is the one and only The Game.
Why would you do that?
Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I hated him when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But he figured things out and he became The Game. And things changed in Generation Next. Tell me about your allure for Ultimate Warrior.
This is not fair. Ultimate Warrior, he's great, he's good, but again, he wanted more money, I think. That was the thing with Mr. McMahon. He left wrestling very quickly. But Triple H, he's great, he's The Game, he's awesome, and he returns.
The Game is one of those things that he's one of those people that just never goes away. He's not only old school, he's reinvented himself, he's new school. Big respect for what he's done for the wrestling industry. Ultimate Warrior had a very short-lived career, and it was a lot of his own issues. But God, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan for both titles. And I mean, just running those ropes and bumping into each other and no one going down. And ultimately, Ultimate Warrior, he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, defeated Hulk Hogan to win both championships.
Didn't he defeat Tonk Man to become IC?
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was great. Ultimate Warrior, he was great for a moment. And again, that was a great moment. So, is there a fire truck?
Wow.
Excuse us, fans. JoJo, you got to turn the fire truck off. We're recording.
Okay, so the clear
who's
win,
the choice?
The clear win, I had to choose this. I'm sorry for all those warriors out there. I had to choose The Game. I'm sorry.
Triple H.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
So let's move on, okay? So next we have one of the baddest around, the 316 King of the Ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's going up against the brother of Undertaker, Kane. Kane is a formidable partner, but he made it to his list because he's, I think, longevity for the most part. Go ahead and give me some. What are your thoughts here?
He's a terrible tag partner. I mean,
Yeah.
all my friend Daniel Bryan wanted to do was win tag team champions, and Kane didn't even like that.
This seems like a very easy choice here.
This is. It's Stone Cold.
Stone Cold's the
You want to get a
choice.
stunner from Stone Cold?
Stone
He'll
Cold.
find you if you say no.
Stone
It's
Cold.
easy.
Okay.
I think he's gonna win the whole thing.
So the next group we're looking at is Undertaker and Yokozuna. And so Undertaker
Why?
undefeated through WrestleManias all the way until he met up with Brock Lesnar. And Yokozuna was, another member of that great illustrious family that The Rock came from. He came in, he won the title, and even though he lost it, I feel like he lost it immediately. He beat Bret Hart for the title at SummerSlam, and then Hulk Hogan came out, and Hulk Hogan beat him. I hated the whole thing. I think it was SummerSlam. It could have been WrestleMania. I don't think it was SummerSlam though. But whatever the case, to me, Undertaker is a clear cut winner here. What about you? What do you think?
I disagree.
You disagree? You going Yokozuna?
Yokozuna.
You going Yokozuna?
Yokozuna.
Oh, we got our first upset over here.
Yokozuna moves on.
Yokozuna. Who would have thought Undertaker wasn't going to make it out of round one? All right.
Fuji.
So the next set of wrestlers, they're actually connected in a way.
Say this.
So the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is going up against his former bodyguard, confidant, Kevin Nash, a.k.a. Diesel. Kevin Nash was one of the greatest, in my opinion, wrestlers going from WWF to WCW, and what he did for NWO and what they did in WCW. He was unstoppable. Completely unstoppable. But we are talking about the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and he carried WWF on his back for some years. What do you think about this?
This is easy. This is easy. This is so easy. It's
Is it
Shawn
easy?
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels?
Although Kevin Nash,
All right.
when they broke up, although
So
he
this
won
is
the World Championship before, that doesn't mean anything.
HBK it is then. Okay, HBK.
Shawn Michaels
So
is
moving on.
greatest.
So the last matchup of the first round, to me, it also seems simple to me. Hulk Hogan. Now, again, I'm not a huge Hulk Hogan fan, and he's on this list because of what he did for wrestling, I think, in the 80s. And then he kind of reinvented himself with NWO in the 90s, which was great, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. But the other person on this list kind of transcends too, Chris Jericho. He started out in WCW, and I liked him a lot then, not so much now. He went to WWF and now AEW. But Hulk Hogan versus Chris Jericho. Who you got for that?
Hulk Hogan, he's legendary.
Legendary, huh? Okay.
Although, if you watched WrestleMania, he got booed.
Okay, all right. Really?
Oh, yes, he did. If you paid close attention, he had a lot of characters. He was Mr. America. He was the Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jericho, he just made a great comeback.
He did.
AEW, but again, I don't like the AEW Chris Jericho. I like the older one.
Okay.
So
So who's the winner here?
The winner
Is it
is
Hulk Hogan or is it going to be Chris Jericho?
the winner is Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
Y2J.
Y2J upsetting Hulk Hogan? Some people may argue he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Okay.
Is he? I don't like him.
Chris Jericho. So we move on to the next round.
We're gonna do next round. Same thing.
So the next round, this is round 2. Okay, so we're going to head right back up to the top. The first matchup is going to be The Rock versus Rick Flair.
Oh,
Who do you
that's so
have in this matchup?
hard. I like Rock. And
Do you have the eyebrow or do you have the woo? You got the eyebrow? You got The Rock going here? The Rock, to me, in my opinion, Ric Flair did many great things in wrestling,
Yeah,
but
he
The
did.
Rock is...
The Rock.
There's nothing like him. There's nothing like him in wrestling. And still, there's nothing like him.
I really want to put The Rock against Bret Hart.
So, let's move on. We have Bret Hart versus Triple H.
I have
Bret Hart, best there is, best there was, best there will be. And then Triple H, the game.
Did he ever
And
fight?
Generation X.
Did he ever fight The Rock?
So, I know this is a kid show, but in school with Generation X, we did a whole lot of this. And again, we weren't supposed to be doing it. But again, it was like, if you were like watching wrestling at the late 90s, that was your thing. You guys know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. We know.
So who do you go with here?
This is hard.
Bret Hart or Triple H?
Okay, I have a clear winner here.
Here we go. Who is it?
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Sound the air horns. My guy's moving on.
I don't know. I'm doing Bret Hart like this. I'm giving him a big push.
He's moving on.
I'm scared. What if he
So
wins?
next round we have Stone Cold, like the glass break, versus Yokozuna, Mr. 316. I'm not sure. Mr. 316 versus the Yokozuna.
This is hard. I like both of them.
It's not hard for me.
But it's actually not hard.
It's only one
It's
person.
Stone Cold. He's legendary.
316 moves on.
If I was Vince McMahon, I would make Stone Cold
Stone
Hall of Fame every
Cold.
single time. Every single year, I would put him in the Hall of Fame.
So this is an interesting match, but I actually like this now. I didn't like the pick of Hulk Hogan over Chris Jericho, but I do like HBK, Heartbreak Kid, going up against Chris Jericho because some would say they were very similar in their wrestling styles. So I do like this matchup. So who you have for?
Very hard.
Who you have for HBK
Very hard.
versus
This
Chris
is so
Jericho?
hard. Okay. I need a minute. My favorite.
There's a clear-cut
HBK,
winner for me.
And then Chris Jericho. Okay, I gotta go HBK.
I like that, HBK. So we have essentially rated the competition of all WCW or non-WWF people. So we're down to our final four. So our final four in this side, and we're still on the old school side. Part 2 of this is going to be the new school. We're going to do this in 2 parts.
Part 2.
The Rock versus Bret Hart.
Oh, why is it so hard on me?
I know, The Rock versus Bret Hart. I know what I would go with. I wouldn't go with my heart on this one, and that's a double entendre for you guys. I would go with...
I'm going with The Rock.
That's who I would go with. I love Bret Hart as a wrestler.
I took Bret
but
Hart to
I'm
the
going
final
with The
just
Rock.
to make an upset on all you Hart Foundation friends.
I'm going with The Rock. Let's get going. So, Stone Cold versus HBK, Heartbreak Kid. Now, to me, this is good wrestling. We are getting into some great matches. Bret Hart, Rock, I don't know if they wrestled one another, but I do know Stone Cold and HBK wrestled one another. Great match. And I do know that when Stone Cold wrestled Bret Hart, I feel like Shawn Michaels was a guest referee there. There was a lot of, like, those guys, all 4 of these guys were tangled in the Attitude Era. Attitude Era. Who are you going with here?
I don't know.
I know who my choice is.
I don't know. Where's Lex Luger?
He's not on here. He's an honorable mention.
I don't like him. That's
Honorable
why I said
mention.
that. HBK.
HBK over Stone Cold. That's an upset.
HBK.
That's an upset. So
HBK.
our final for the old school side is
why did I do
The
this?
Rock
Oh, I set myself
versus
up.
the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I set myself
So
up.
let's get into it because we need a clear-cut winner here. So let's just say that The Rock is the greatest sports entertainer ever. What do you describe Shawn Michaels as? Shawn Michaels is great, but Shawn Michaels
Why did I set myself
Shawn Michaels
up?
isn't in the Scorpion King. He's not in Fast and Furious. He doesn't have a movie where he's rescuing people from like skyscrapers falling and stuff like that. The Rock is just the greatest ever. He can come back and win the title right now. If we line Shawn Michaels and The Rock up together, you would think Shawn Michaels is like 30, 40 years older than The Rock. Rock's a good looking dude. He's probably, I know Stone Cold is the highest grossing wrestler ever as far as merchandise, but The Rock has got to be a close second.
Okay.
He has done great things. Shawn Michaels, on the other hand, had a great career in the 90s.
I made my decision.
Great career in 2000s. Who's your decision?
HBK.
HBK over The Rock?
And if you
HBK
down with
is
that,
going?
we got 2 words for you.
All right. It's PG. Wow, we have some big upsets here. I wouldn't have thought that Stone Cold. I thought Stone Cold The Rock was going to be the finalist, and honestly, I thought The Rock was going to take all of this. But you're telling me HBK?
HBK.
So the Heartbreak Kid, let's circle it, is in the final for the old school. So join us next week, next episode, part 2 of this. We're going to do the new school, and actually, I'll just run down a couple wrestlers here to kind of get you guys. Of course, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, just to name a few, Brock Lesnar. These are all names that's going to be mentioned there. So you guys tune in next week. Subscribe, share.
And make sure you smash that like button. And we'll
this
see
guy's
you
a superstar.
in the next video.
Flex form going out. Flex form going out. This guy's a superstar.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
See